I am the way into the algorithm. I am the way into your subscription. I am the way to go among the films. Abandon all hope, you who enter here, for you stand in the presence of the motherfucking stash.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Douglas, you ready to film?
Yes, I am! No, you're not! Alright, let's start it, stuff. Hi, welcome to Film Stash. My name is Douglas Campbell.
And my name is not Douglas Campbell.
And today we've reached the conclusion of our retrospective leading up to the Ballerina, John Wick Chapter 4. It's the concluding chapter of the saga?
I don't think they can bring him back from the dead. They showed his grave.
What are your opening thoughts on Chapter 4 of John Wick?
It's not my favorite. It's my least favorite installment. It's not necessarily bad. I just think it's the fourth best out of all four of them.
So the worst. Yeah, that's the thing about it. Because, we saw these films, at least the last two, one in a drive-in, one in a movie theater. I remember whenever we left number 4, we were so pumped. I loved it.
We dress as John Wick. Insert picture here.
I don't think it was the worst, but, this is, a movie that's, 3 sentences long. But somehow they made it almost 3 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The story is not much.
So we were sitting there watching the movie, and I said, how far are we in this? And he goes, half an hour. I literally wrote, I got bored half an hour in. I know a lot happened in this film, but I also feel like they made a lot unnecessary happen, you know? It wasn't as straightforward as it could have been. And I feel like they paid a lot more attention to the action rather than, actually the plot.
I'm not, a snob whenever I get good action, you know what I mean? I'm not a spoiled kid where it's this action is good, but it's too long. All the other movies have been really tight with their action. They went by really, really fast.
And it's all purposeful and intentional, you know?
Yeah. They were overindulgent. They were overindulgent with most of the action, with the only one that was justified being the last 30 minutes leading up to the climax of the movie, but because, what you said, there's purpose to it. It's the only time where it being overindulgent was no, this feels right.
As long as he's killing people and there are fights and things and stuff, then we're good, you know? When they're in the Japanese Continental, what's his name, Koji, the manager there? I understand Koji is his friend and he's trusting him and everything like that, but still, also, it's a little bit selfish on John's part. I mean, a lot of it selfish on John's part. He's like, hey, I know this is implicating you right now, but I'm still going to show up.
But it's you only have so many options, though.
In conclusion, Koji isn't that smart. He had multiple opportunities, and he just didn't take a single one of them.
Well, I could see you don't want to help your friends out ever.
I do, but if my friend has a target on their back, I think it's just an unspoken thing of keep your distance. There was no reason. There was no reason for that whole thing.
I get the point of it. We checked our watches. We checked the runtime on the screen. It was almost an hour. Action was awesome, but it's kind of like dopamine, you know? It's as you get more exposed to it, it's just it loses its effect. Exactly. Yeah. Which sucks because this is awesome action. I don't want to talk just shit on this movie because I still liked it overall.
Yeah.
I want to just talk about some things that I did like. This film, I think, had the best supporting characters.
Kane.
Yes, Kane. I remember when we initially watched it, you hated Kane. You thought he didn't make any sense.
It's unrealistic.
But it's the world of John Wick.
I don't love him.
They just wanted to have a Daredevil character in there, you know? And he was awesome.
It's a cool concept, but unrealistic. There are things that are happening that he can't see, but there are things where it's dead silent. And he's you know, you can hear somebody silent creeping up behind you, but you can't tell that John Wick is panting.
Yeah.
They pick and choose with what
they play loosey-goosey.
Yeah, they don't have the rules of his character very tight.
It's an action movie, though. I can forgive it because I liked his character in it. I feel like he kind of steals the show a little bit from John. He's a conflicted warrior, you know, that's stuck in the system and he has to kill his friend, but he doesn't want to. Another character that I thought was pretty great, the Tracker, or Mr. Nobody.
Oh, yeah. I thought that he was very good. I liked him. He's really pretty, too. The Tracker seems newer to the world and situation. You know, like, he doesn't know how to handle the Marquis, and, you know, he doesn't exactly... I feel like he doesn't get it completely. Also, I really want to know how he tracks John, because he's hard to track.
These supporting characters, they feel the most fleshed out. Weirdly enough, the best scenes of the movie were just them talking with John. Kane, like, talking to John in the church.
Oh, how they're just chatting.
How they're just, like, chatting about life and what they even stand for.
Yeah, like, it's the most we've seen John actually, like, have a conversation, you know?
Weirdly enough, it's, like, it brings way more gravitas than probably what was actually written. Which is why I don't get why they didn't do one of these guys instead of Ballerina.
They should have made a Kane spinoff.
They should have.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they didn't quite build it up to that, but I feel like they kind of built it up to that.
Really depends on, like, the success of the Ballerina. If the movie does not do well, it's not going to matter. We're going to get John Wick 5 and only John Wicks. We're not going to get any more spin-offs.
I'm excited to see the Ballerina, but I think it would have been smart of them to pick a solid character that we already knew and had experience with. Like how they did that series about the Continental Hotels. You know, that's something established that we already know about.
Despite the action getting very repetitive, they do have really effective action sequences that do stand out and, like, kind of pull you back in. Yes. One being the aerial sequence and also the stair fight. Like, so many great sequences that they do try to keep, like, one shot.
A lot of the imagery and, you know, shots in this movie are, like, they outdo themselves. Like, this lighting we have here that you set up for us.
And 3, like, they're still both very beautiful films, but they look too samey. It stands out a lot more. There's a lot more vibrant reds, not as much reflections.
Yeah.
If we're talking about just, like, how overindulgent this plot is, and it's really overindulgent, in the grand scheme of this movie, only 3 things happen. Only 3 things happen. There's the attack at the Osaka hotel. He's trying to get accepted back to his family, and he has to, like, gain re-entry by killing somebody, and then it's the duel. All the time in between with the fighting, it just really stretches this out. What's weird is, like, the middle sequence of them, like, him fighting the fat guy. Oscob. It's more athletic penguin, yeah.
For real!
That whole sequence, like, it's almost like it could have been a joke sequence, you know? Like in any other movie,
it's so
like,
fake.
They don't show the whole thing. It's just like, I need you to do this. It's like a 2-second montage of it, and then it's like, do you have it? Yes, here's his tooth. All right, you're in. But they overindulged. They just couldn't help themselves because, and rightfully so, I think they thought this was the last movie. It's unnecessary padding.
We were talking about the second movie, and I said, like, this feels like the tip of the iceberg for, like, getting more and more ridiculous. You know, this one really was just, like, cherry on top. Crazy, unrealistic. I mean, we've already said this 10 times throughout this whole review. Really amplified how ridiculous these films have become.
In the back of my mind, as the action got crazier and crazier, I was just thinking, and this started off so simply. It was just a guy killing people because of his dog. How'd we get here? I don't know. It's like I'm psyching myself out, like, the more we're doing this review. I mean, I did like it. It went on too long.
I love it because you love all the other ones so much because they're all so good, and this one is still good in its own right.
It's my problems with the third one amplified to the extreme, you know?
Except for the women problems that we had.
Well, but that you had.
All the women in this movie are great.
Just Bill Skarsgård now.
Marquis, fuckface. I just want to say, the Marquis, I don't know, they pronounce it 2 different ways throughout the film. He's definitely a bottom. He's a bitch-ass pussy. I'm sorry, Grandma, I know you're watching this, but he's a bottom.
She's moving on. She likes women again.
I've always liked women. I just don't like Marquis. Bill Skarsgård.
Was a good, satisfying ending. It was very poetic. For all the carnage of these movies and the ways he could have died and probably should have died, he did it in a way where he finally was able to be free and he wasn't able to be like Cain. Yeah.
Yeah. Something I also like is that John Wick has a guaranteed happily ever after. Everybody was good in the end. I thought it was funny that it was like happily ever after for everyone in the John Wick films.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, that kind of took me out of it. I don't know. It was like, I get you want to like conclude things, but like it was almost like too neat of a bow.
I remember in the theater when John died, I was like, yes, finally, good. He can be at rest now. He did what he had to do. He's done. You know, this was the best possible outcome. That was a beautiful ending. You don't want to be.
He's gonna come back.
You don't want to be like How I Met Your Mother, where you're just like, what the hell was that? You know,
he's gonna come back. They can't leave good pigs alone. He's gonna come back. But it was a very poetic, beautiful ending.
Yes,
and
is what we're saying.
I would have kept him dead. He needed to die. Wrap our thoughts up here. This is a solid action series. Not bad. I would probably just give it like a 7 out of 10.
I give this movie a 6. Yeah, 6 out of 10. It's like I said, I honestly, after this watch, this is my second time watching it. I'm not craving it again.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Any help that you've given this channel so far, supporting us, I just want to say thank you, guys. That's all the time we have for today here on Film Stash. My name is Douglas Campbell.
And my name is still not Douglas Campbell.
If you excuse us, we're gonna add to the stash.